Yeah, I can do that, no problem whatsoever. My colleagues on the other ships in the same role who have to do the tour, they're like, what do you want the marketing manager to do this tour for? In the wings, in the corridor outside, you know, and there's of course no room for modesty for these guys.
Oh no.
And they actually also have dresses to help them. So they have a place that they go. So they know that the next costume is there, or the next costume is there. A finale costume, correct? Mm-hmm. And this is one of the smaller costumes. There's probably some smaller ones, perhaps, I don't know. But for this little thing, I want you to feel how much this weighs. Our door behind you. We've just actually walked through two of them on the way here. I don't know if you realize that. Watertight doors, of course, divide the ship into segments. So if we were to get some flooding, you can close those doors, restrict the flooding to one area, and hopefully prevent the ship from sinking. The whole idea, of course, if you are going to get flooding and you're going to rip a hole in the side of your ship, is don't rip the hole bigger than 3 of these sections. Yeah. 3 of these sections, it will sink eventually, and that's what happened to the Costa Concordia. 3 tailors. They ripped it. Once upon a time, it used to be 4. I don't know. They said we can do it all with 3. Make them work harder. Do you know all the uniforms on board are made on board? Oh, really? So the Lido uniform we just went past down the orange. You see the fold of orange cloth just here hanging from the ceiling? Just right here. This one here.
Captain.
Captain, exactly. Captain, as the hotel director, the chief engineer, and the staff captain all have 4 stripes. You know it's the captain because the 4th stripe is like a double stripe, a big one. Yeah. Now you know it's the captain as opposed to the chief engineer because it has the loop. Anyone who works in navigation has the loop. The engineers don't have the loop. Yeah. That was mine when I first started. Isn't that cute? That's the cutest thing ever. No, because I don't have an empty one. It's a typical morning shift. We also have an afternoon shift and an overnight shift. So this is just the morning's work. Yeah, not quite 24/7. Let's go with 22/7. They have 2 hours off for lunch, I guess. But yeah, so they have ongoing shifts and they run pretty much 24 hours a day. Now down here is very important. You want to keep it moving. You know, it's all about the cycle. So as you take one off, it comes to you. You don't have to bend over, hurt your back. So the spring loader, they come to you. Now what we're going to do with them is put them into this machine here. This is our flat work ironer.
Hey.
How cool is that machine?
So.
Amazon.com. I know somebody can see everything there, so. 2,000 degrees. 350 degrees. I'll out with a few appetizers here and there, but ultimately, this is the galley exclusive for the pinnacle. Right? Nothing they do goes into the rest of the galley or upstairs to the Lido or anything like that. This is dedicated because it's a special menu in the pinnacle. It's kind of like a steak.
The pipe upstairs, and I'm doing the mess for our food.
The salmon?
Oh, it's that.
These shell doors are the biggest doors we have on the ship, so anything we need to get on needs to fit inside that door. Otherwise, we're cutting holes in the side of the ship, which is generally not well.
Get emptied on this table, and that's got all of the different waste streams in there. And the guys stand here and they sort through like ninjas into different waste streams. Okay.
There is very little actual solid waste left. It comes out all the little bioorganisms that eat it all. So this is one of our lockers that we have for our provisions. It's one of about 15. 15 total lockers. Not all of them have alcohol in it. In fact, this is the only the liquor locker that we have.
So we have our channel supplies, we have our paper lockers, we have our dry storage, we have our freezers downstairs for ice cream, for meat, fish room, miscellaneous, dairy room, food room, vegetable room, everything is separated.
This is nice. It's like the North Pole. I feel like I'm home now.
It's like Canada.
You want to go out here?
Yes, sir.
We got caught up in the elevator.
This is what we call on the ship, friend, colloquially, the I-95. Takes us all the way from the bow all the way up. So it's a corridor that the crew use. It's, we can get back and forward on the ship from forward to back relatively quickly. These are the zones that we block off and try and close everything down. So if we do have a fire or flooding, everything's restricted to a zone or 2 or 3 or whatever it might be. In the engine control room, we're going to meet the chief engineer. Kind of just stay towards the back of the room. He's an engineer of the watch. He's monitoring all the alarms and everything, leave him alone. He's got a job to do.
Okay.
And also don't troop coming in.
Ja, nou dit is de
That was a lot, yes.
deze control room. We have one guy on duty in the control room and the rest is now down below. We have the main kitchen and the shower and the toilets. In full circle, so we don't have rudders and we don't have thrusters here. Like what we have here, the thrusters, so we can put the ship on its own length, we can turn it around. And because we also get seasick very easily, we have the stabilizers over here. They're like big wings, so that's why the ship is always straight.
Yeah. Drinking water.
This is all my water, yeah. I go to the water tank. So this goes all the way forward. Then you are under the bridge, more or less. So the engine room is under the whole ship.
So,
It goes from forward all the way to aft.
Just the water tank doors.
Now we close them if we see. Yeah. So the build-up tank is all of water, and then in the bottom it's all heavy fuel oil.
How much is the total in the reservoirs of the total amount? Or each one is separate?
The lubrication oil
Yeah.
is 6,000 gallons oil. As your bolts are hanging under here, those cables are going to copper rings, because otherwise if the cables would be hooked up, then you can never make a 60 degrees turn.
Okay, yeah.
So it is like brushes.
So they change around so that they both do training. We've just gone to electronic charts, so we no longer carry paper charts. We have two complete. Not at all. No. It's a requirement that when you go to electronic systems, you don't carry the paper systems, unless that is your secondary system.
yeah.
And our secondary system is electronic as well.
And
So
back
we
up.
have two complete systems of electronic charts, which all have the same thing, and each of those systems also has a UPS, an interruptible power supply backup as well. So in effect you've got four. They use these checklists, so if they take over the watch and see, they'll pick that one out, they come over, and they come over to this panel here, and then this is the status board. Going up to around 128 RPM is full. We'd be looking probably normally it's about 80 on this one. 80 on this one we were doing for 14.5, 15 knots, 80 RPM on both. When we go up and we're doing a faster run at 18 to 20 knots, we'll probably be up to this.